also, I'd like to say, I can only speak for myself, I can't speak for everyone else, but I will continue to support Coventry City next season. I'm going to all the away games. I'm not going to Walsall or any other game. I'm buying no shirt, no merchandise. I'm putting nothing into Coventry City Football Club or season of it. Because if you're not going to walk away and go away, then we'll starve you out the same as you tried to do with ACL.
Firstly, I respect your view because you will take your own personal decision, and secondly, under no circumstances would we possibly try and starve out ACL. I don't even know what that means.
Second other question from the back, please.
We tried to make them bankrupt so you can take stadium for nothing.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
So let's take the question at the back, please. He's got the microphone, so let's see his question.
Hi, it's Nick here. I'd just like to say, you say we're at as a business point of view, you're at the bottom now, but where do you think we'll be in 3 years when you've got no fans, 2,000 fans, no investment in the team? Won't we surely be in the conference or somewhere lower? You've got a room full of people who all want to see us play in Coventry. Why don't you listen to your customers and make sure we play here? I can't hear anything. All you want to do is move us 20 miles, 30 miles down the road. Nobody wants to do that. Listen to us. We want to stay here.
And someone mentioned the petition earlier, Tim, which is 13,000 signatures, not quite 13 million. Does that petition not make you fit again?
Let's just take one step back, and that is, we do not want to move from Coventry. That's why the long-term solution is a stadium in the Coventry area. Now, again, for the sake of sounding incredibly boring, we were forced out of the Ricoh Arena, so we have got letters which are absolutely crystal, and that is, we will never do a deal with you.
They did a deal with you, Tim. Deny that then. Tell us the
question is that ACL have always argued that you did agree a deal at a meeting.
And shook hands.
And shook hands on it, yeah.
We indeed did a deal. That deal was struck on the 18th of June and the 2nd of August 2012.
So why did you renege on it?
So what happened then? Why?
Well, that's a very good point, Clive, and it's a question which we think is driven by the due diligence. So, in August, we brought in BDO, and they were going through the books and records of ACL. Now, they in essence didn't make pretty reading at all. So the pricing, shall we say, was going to have to be less attractive around the deal that we would do with the Higgs charity. Now, for whatever reason, the relationship broke down, so we signed term sheets with both the Higgs and the council, and in essence, the relationship broke down. And that is a question I can't answer, I really don't know.
Okay, let's take another question from the floor. Where were you? Over here, please. Let's hear this from this woman here, please.
Hi, my name's Mandy. I listened to the radio broadcast yesterday, and something that confused me. You said 3 times, Tim, that Coventry City Football Club is not up for sale. So why have you put a bid in for it if it's not up for sale?
As I explained earlier, Mandy, it's all part of the administration process. So if you're talking about the process, what happened today was, by 5 o'clock, bidders had to submit, it's indicative bids, Steve, indicative bids, and alongside that you put in your proof of funds to show that you can perform on that bid, and then those bids will be reviewed by the administrator, and then the key point is one bid will be accepted, and then that business will come out of administration.
The club was not up for sale.
No, the club is, as known as Football Club Limited, is not run by me, that is run by the administrator. So Holdings is run by me.
You said Limited had no assets.
And that's the gentleman's just raised a point, which is, Tim, you said it's got no assets. Actually, that is one of the problems that the administrator's got. He's not quite sure what he's selling.
So why have you bid on it then if it's got no assets?
Hang on.
So that is what, as I say, that is one of the challenges the administrator has got. He's not sure what he is selling. All he's got is a number of lease agreements a licence agreement, and basically no assets. So what we need to do under Football League rules, we have to pull back together the components of what is Coventry City Football Club.
But
And that is,
yesterday
What value
it
of
was
Sisu
not
given
for
no
sale.
assets today?
I'm sorry?
What value of Sisu given no assets today?
Well, hang on. No, we haven't got the microphone on the question, but it was about what...
I didn't quite understand it.
You just said Sisu have put bids today. What value have they put in on that bid?
So yeah, what value you put in the bid? This is for CCFC Limited.
Yeah, you're not going to be surprised to say that's commercially confidential.
Okay, let's take a question from here, please. Got about 5-10 minutes left.
Andy from Nuneaton. You talked about the accounts and you said your auditors BDO made a mess of the auditing for the last 3 years. You've just said a minute ago the BDO, the same auditors, were looking through the accounts of ACL. Why are you using the same company of auditors when you've just said, well, you didn't answer the question before, you were asked was it the auditors or you who were incompetent? If it wasn't the auditors, then you're surely accepting that you're incompetent.
And Andy, just to be clear, I haven't said the auditors are incompetent at all. So the auditors that have been used, so these are the auditors that came in and did the due diligence for CISU on day one, and they were retained by CISU to prepare the statutory accounts. And in terms of doing the due diligence on the ACL business, then BDO were used.
How did they sign off the accounts for 3 years if they were rubbish, like you said?
I didn't say they were rubbish.
You did last night, you said the accounts were a mess.
Yeah, the question is, if you said last night the accounts were a mess over a period of time...
I said the accounts were in a mess way back in 1995.
You said the last 3 years.
I said the accounts were in a mess in 1995, and what we've done is we've used forensic accountants who've come in and they have actually been able to identify where the cash went. And as I say, there are some interesting points around why Clubon, later to become Limited, was set up.
Okay, let's take a question here. We've probably got time for two more. Let's take a question from here, please.
My name's Mike Watson. I've been a citizen and supporter since my dad took me when I was 10 years old in 1961. If you're not going to sell the club to somebody who has got the best interests of the club at heart, then at least surely you can do a deal with ACL. There's a deal on the table that was 400k, that surely if you get yourselves out of the playground, you can sit round the table, proper negotiation. Surely there was a deal that could be done somewhere around 250, 300k, that would keep us in the RICO for 3 years. Even if we accept that you are going to go for a new ground, then at least keep us at the RICO, do a deal, get round the table, stop messing around. There must be a deal to be done. Stop all this palaver with ACL and the council, get round the table and sort it out so that all of us fans can go up to the RICO.
Mike, we do have the best interests of the football club at heart, of course. But it is not that you have suggested that the negotiations are in fact just messing about. Far from it. What has come out of negotiations have been some very serious legal issues. For example, the judicial review and various legal challenges. So this isn't a playground game, this is deadly serious. And this was the point I was trying to make last night, and this is the key point. There is a chance that the football club could be permanently impaired. It is imperative that Football Club Limited comes out of administration sooner rather than later.
So what are you thinking about to get...
Sell it!
Why are you bidding on something that's got no assets? You said it got no
You know where the
assets.
golden share is?
Sorry, what's your name?
Tony.
Tony.
50 years I've followed this club, and
Tony's-
I've never ever seen it as bad as this.
Tony
What
says he's
do you
got
do?
50. Hang on, Tony, the problem is people can't hear you on the radio. So Tony says he's fought the club for 50 years, he's never seen it as bad as this. And what are you doing with administration is what he's asking.
Tony, we put a bid in today which will hopefully bring the club, known as Football Club Limited, out of administration.
What happened?
Okay, I want to take another question because we're running out of time. Let me have a question here in the chat here, please.
Hi Tim, my name's Ben, I'm a season ticket holder. Quick question then about CCFT Limited. What happens if somebody else buys it and brings it out of administration? Where does that leave CISU and where does it leave them if they put a bid in for holdings and you saying it's not for sale? because you won't own limited?
Well, there of course is a scenario, given that I'm sure there's been a number of bidders for Football Club Limited, and we would have to see at the point of coming out of administration what would have to happen, because of course the Football League would then have a very big decision to make. Where would it allocate the golden share?
I'm assuming it's ultimately up to the administrator, is it, who's the preferred bidder for CCFC Limited?
Steve, do you just want to spend 30 seconds going through what administration is and what happens?
Yeah. The administrator's job is to get the best return for the creditors. So, you know, the creditors that have filed claims, as I understand it, in the administration at the moment are obviously Holdings, Sky Blue Sports and Leisure, the ACL, the Alan Higgs Centre, and the council filed for a small claim as well. The assets that he knows he's definitely got at the moment is a £399,000 rates rebate, because obviously the football club should have never have been paying rates on the Rico Arena. So his job then is to try and realise the business and assets as he understands they are. So people will bid for that, and then he will decide, in his opinion, what is the best deal for that. And then it will be up to the Football League. Then it's in their gift really to decide then what happens with the golden share.
Okay, we've got time for one more question, please.
Has the football
Okay,
club...
sorry, can you give us your
Yeah,
name?
my name's Paul, season ticket holder for 26 years. But has the club looked at playing at the rugby club? Because there's 4,000 stadium, the holds 4,000 that stadium. Be about 500,000 people travel to Warsaw wherever we're playing. And you'll sell that ground out every week for 3 years, and then you can move for 15,000, which is a far too small stadium for a Premiership, wherever we're supposed to be. But has anyone looked at the playing there?
Paul, the Football League gave us very, very strict guidelines on what type of grounds we could play at. In fact, they gave us the name of 3 clubs that they wanted us to go and talk to.
Where were they?
Someone's asking you what they were. I suspect you're not going to tell us, are you?
No, I can't.
No, I didn't think you would. Okay, look, we've got 2 minutes left, so very quickly, someone wants to ask a question. We have to be very brief. No, you've already asked a question, so
Yeah.
let's have someone...
But
No, sir, you've already asked a question. No, sorry,
Stuart,
Stuart, we've already asked a question. Let's have someone who's not asked a question, please. Very quickly. You've got about a minute, so make it quick, please.
After 138 away games over the next 3 years, will Coventry City be coming back to a stadium in their name or in Sisu's name?
I imagine that we will try and monetise the name of the stadium as best we can, because again, as Steve Brookfield pointed out, it's all about financial fair play. So if we can monetise this naming rights to the stadium, then guess what, we will.
Who would own the stadium? Sisu?
Who would own the stadium? Would it be the club
Sisu
or
own the stadium, then
Sisu?
rent it to Holdings, or then rent it to Limited? Is that the way it's going to work on this working there?
Well, what you're asking is there going to be an OpCo-PropCo type setup? And frankly, we've not even gone down to that level of working out how you might structure the relationship between the OpCo and the PropCo.
Okay, that's where we have to leave it, I'm afraid. There is another Coventry City